Start with your knees bent, laying on your back. Oh, that's why you came out here? If it feels comfortable to extend the heels away from the crown of the head, you can do that. Bring your awareness to your breath. And check in with yourself before we get moving. Notice the quality of the breath before your practice. If the chest feels tight or open. If the breath is short or long. If the inhales or the exhales bear more weight. And then begin to intentionally deepen the breath. Bring the awareness to the diaphragm. And as you inhale, feel it expand downward. As you exhale, feel it soften back and spread wide across the floor. With your next inhale, take it past the diaphragm, all the way down into the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. And exhale. Sink into the support of the ground beneath you. With your next inhale, breathe deeply all the way up into the top back of the lungs, in the upper chest, behind the shoulder blades. And exhale completely, spreading the front body against the back body and the back body wide against the floor. Next breath, take it all the way up through to the crown of the head. Filling the face, the side bodies, back bodies, front bodies with the breath. And as you exhale, sink into the support of that ground beneath you. Allow yourself to be held by the earth and held by the regularity of the practice. So we cultivate that steadiness from which we observe what arises, abides, and dissolves, both within the body, emotions, sensation, memories, and in the world around us. Do a quick scan through your physical body, starting at the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. Inhale and pull the awareness up through the legs, into the pelvis, the hips, the low back. Notice any areas of tension, soreness, general discomfort. Feel free to bend the knees and let the knees fall together if there's discomfort in the lower back. And then breathe into those places. The in-breath gently opens and expands. And as you exhale, allow tension to leave the body with the breath. Next inhale pulls the awareness up the torso, into the shoulders, the neck, and the face. Again, just noticing where in the upper body you're holding tension today. And using the breath to go there. Inhale, bring your awareness, create space. Invite fresh blood and oxygen to flow through those areas. And as you exhale completely, consciously continue the conversation of asking the body to soften, release, and let go. Lastly, bring the awareness to your mind. And notice where your thoughts are at. Notice the speed at which they're moving through you. Allow yourself to step back from identifying as the thoughts and begin to witness their passing through the mind like clouds through the sky, without getting attached or carried away, without judging yourself for what you're thinking about, but just beginning to notice the habits and patterns in the way the mind turns. And then bring the awareness back and anchor it fully on your breath. Have a few more of those deep, long breaths that expand and fill the whole body. And as you exhale, softening back and spreading wide, connecting to the universal blueprint for optimal alignment. Bones and joints stack in the back body plane. The skeletal system supports you so the muscles and the organs don't have to work so hard. And we're gonna start with some core work, laying on our backs. We're gonna do spinal rolls. So extend the arms overhead, palms face up, hands as wide as the shoulders. Press all the fingernails into the floor. Draw the abdomen in towards the back body, cinching the low ribs and the hip bones together. Root the energy from the tailbone towards the heels. And with an inhale, lift the legs slowly, coming all the way up and rolling overhead to touch the ground behind you. If you need to bring your fingertips by your hips or get a little momentum to begin, that's okay. As you exhale, roll the spine out, vertebrae by vertebrae. Keeping the thigh bones pressing away from the crown of the head as you work. The legs come perpendicular to the floor and draw the abdomen in towards the spine again. Root the tailbone down as you lower the legs to the floor. When the heels touch the floor, thigh bones press down. As you inhale, lift the torso, lift the chest. Ooh, try to keep the arms by the ears as much as possible as you come all the way forward and down to touch your toes. And then exhale, keeping the arms by the ears as much as possible. Thigh bones grounded. Draw the abdomen back towards the spine as you roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Drawing the belly button towards the spine as you lift the legs all the way up and overhead. We're going to do a total of 5 spinal rolls, so you can continue at your own pace. Knowing that it's okay to get some momentum if that's what you need in this moment, but that eventually we just completely use the core strength, that we move slowly so we can observe the body. Trying to keep the arms by the ears as much as possible. Observing where the spine gets stuck and moves in chunks. That lets you know that that is where the paraspinal muscles are weak. You may also observe if the body shimmies to one side. And that lets you know that the other side is overworking. Can you apply your awareness to cultivate a balance in how the body works? They never get easier. Good. So this action of the core drawing in towards the spine is an action that we are looking for in pretty much all the poses. It's the action of the third chakra, the ego center, raining in towards the back body, the universal body, the soul body. Aligning the small self with the higher self. Good. Once you've done a total of 5, you can draw your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side, massage the lower back a little bit. With an exhale, roll to the right side. Press down with the palms to lift up. Come to a comfortable seated position. Keep your eyes closed for just another moment as you build your alignment from the ground up. Press both sits bones down. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the heart, the crown, the tips of the ears. Exhale, roll the shoulders together, down and into the back body, fully broadening through the collarbone, and then slide the jawbone back. Stack the neck over the spine. Align this internal antenna within us that connects us to all things. And as we move through the physical shapes, working to align the body from the ground up, all of this work is not about balancing on your head or being able to like touch your face to your knee, but it's about aligning energetically to connect more deeply to the universe. And as we've been in quarantine, there's been all of these global meditations and amazing things happening. And I keep missing them. Like I keep being like setting an alarm for it and then like being outside and not around my phone when it goes off. But I have been feeling the opportunity that so many people are taking to turn their lives in this moment into more of a meditation and a yoga practice. So we have been given this gift of the slow down, the space in which to observe ourselves, both individually and collectively, and to take the time to align, not just the physical body, but to align energetically with the intentions for who we want to be and what we would like to create in the future. So all of the work that we're doing today, just building our shapes from the ground up, getting that length and space through the whole spine is so that we can connect to this big picture, to this energy of the universe, being in alignment with the earth, what the earth needs, and also with our truest, deepest, best selves, so that we are rediscovering the things that we get excited and passionate about, the art and the food and the relationships that we want to cultivate and create, so that more and more we are in the flow with our lives. We are losing ourselves and merging with this energy. The small self, the ego, the aspect that is insecure, unsure, doubtful, falls away. And we just get to like revel in our humanity. With an inhale, you can reach your arms up and overhead. And exhale through the mouth with sound. Good. One more time like that, just to clear the body out. Inhale deeply. And exhale completely. And then we'll inhale to prepare for the sound of Om. We're gonna do 6 Oms, one for each chakra, and then a silent Om for the crown of the head. So inhale deeply to prepare. Pausing to feel those vibrations resonate through the body and to observe the silence, the consciousness that is a backdrop to all of our human being and human doing. And then we'll do a pranayama. We'll do Kapalabhati's skull shining breath. So a series of short, sharp exhales through the nose made by pumping the abdomen in and up. You can first just inhale deeply through the nose, lift and lengthen through the crown. Exhale completely. Soften the shoulders down. Focus on the third eye center and inhale to prepare. And then Good. 108, and then return to your normal breath. Feel the effects of that pranayama on the energy in the body. And when you are ready, return to the normal breath and return to hands and knees. Spread the fingers wide, ground the knees under the hips. Turn the biceps forward to roll the shoulders back. A gentle engagement of the abdomen towards the spine, even as you drop it down. Inhale, arch the back, gaze up. Exhale, press down and curl the spine to the ceiling. Continue at your own pace. Sync the motions of the body with the breath. Use the breath to deepen the motions of the body. Allow this synchronicity to bring you fully and completely into the present moment, the place where we lose ourselves. And move in any way that feels good within the confines of the shapes. Remembering that this is your time and space on your mat to connect your mind and your body. And that when we don't have physical teachers present in the room with us, it's more important than ever that we learn to listen and honor the communication, the sensation, the pain and pleasure signals that the body gives us. When you are ready, you can exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips high, and press back to downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal your feet, sway your hips, move in any way that feels good to you for a moment. And then we want to find some stillness. Feet as wide as the hips, outer edge of the feet parallel with outer edge of the mat. As you inhale, lift and spread the fingers and toes, stretch them out to ground them down. From that grounding, inhale and lift the abdomen towards the spine to stack the vertebrae and lift the hips high. Press the thigh bones up and back to where the wall meets the ceiling to create length and space in your lower back. And then allow your head to hang heavy. The length and space of the lower back is reflected in the neck. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. And with an inhale, float forward into your plank pose. With the hips at the height of the shoulders, the thigh bone back, and then rooting the tailbone down. Lift the abdomen towards the spine and lift the back of the ribs to meet the shoulder blades. Exhale, roll the shoulders down the back. Extend through the heels and the crown of the head. Have 1 more breath. And exhale, lower the knees, the chest, and the chin. Press the tops of the feet down. And inhale, lift the heart, roll the shoulders back. Everything on the ground presses firmly down into the ground to lift the heart and crown. Feel what's happening in your spine, specifically your neck here, and notice if there's a tendency to crunch into one part. If that's the case, drop the chin down a bit, slide the jawbone back. Have 1 more breath. And exhale, seat to heels. Come into child's pose. Allow the weight of the hips to settle energetically towards the heels. Sway the hips from side to side if that feels good to you. Even if the hips don't touch the heels, from that grounding energy of the lower body, inhale and walk the fingertips forward. Breathe length and space into each vertebrae in the spine. And as you exhale completely, soften more deeply into the stretch. Take your hands as wide as your shoulders and press down into the palms to bring energy into the arms, lifting them up away from the floor. Pull from the fingertips to the center of the back of the heart, drawing the shoulders down away from the ears. Soften the outer armpits and the center of the shoulder blades towards the floor. Have 3 more deep, long breaths here. Feeling this engagement in the arms and shoulders that makes space in the neck and throat. Remembering that we're looking for spaciousness in all of the shapes. And with an inhale, rise, gaze up, arch the back. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips high. Press it back, downward facing dog. Looking for that same engagement in the arms and shoulders here. As you inhale, lift and spread the fingers and toes. Lift the abdomen, lift the hips high. As you exhale, the thigh bones up and back to where the wall meets the ceiling. Center of the shoulder blades, up and back to the thigh bones. Space in the lower back. Crown of the head hangs heavy, space in the neck. 3 more deep, long breaths. And with an inhale, begin to tippy-toe the feet forward to meet the hands. Exhale, fold deeply into the legs. Always an option to bend the knees here if that feels more relaxing for the neck and shoulders. Shake your head out, yes, and no. Grab opposite elbows and sway. Move in any way that feels good to you to release tension from the back, the shoulders, and the neck. Letting all the judgments of the ego drain out through the crown of the head. All the coulda, woulda, shoulda bullshit. Making space to receive more guidance, inspiration, new ideas and opportunities. With an inhale, return to center and exhale. Through the mouth with sound, release the arms down. The next inhale, begin to roll up. Pelvis spins around the femur bones. The vertebrae stack. Shoulders and head are the last things to rise. Good. So just taking a moment to check in with your alignment and making a habit of checking in whenever you're washing the dishes, whenever you're standing in line at the grocery store. So we're becoming more and more conscious of how we stand, walk, and carry ourselves through the world. The outer edge of the feet parallel with the outer edge of the mat, feet as wide as the hips. Take your thigh bones back, stick your booty out a little bit. Center of the buttocks over the knees and ankles. Keeping that, finding the balance of the 2 actions as you draw the center of the buttocks into the midline to root the tailbone down. That grounding of the energy from the hips through the heels gives us leverage to lift from the pelvic floor, drawing the abdomen in and up to the spine. Lift the crown of the head and the tips of the ears. Turn the palms to face forward and feel how that rolls the shoulders together on the back. Looking for that same alignment, that stacking of the bones and joints in the back body plane that we created when we started off at the beginning of the practice. And when the body is in alignment, we're not losing energy in all these different places and ways. So we become more able to receive it, channel it, and direct it towards our goals, dreams, and intentions, both individually and collectively. With an inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back to plank. Find that one line of energy through the body. And we want to maintain that as we lower, bending the elbows straight back, just to 90 degrees. So if you need the knees for support, use them. Build strength in alignment. The weight shifts way forward so the elbows pretty much stay over the wrists. The abdomen and the back of the heart are still lifting towards the back body as we bend the elbows. Press the tops of the feet down. Inhale, lift the heart. Roll the shoulders back. Exhale, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Return to your breath. Drawing in and up from the floor to the core as you inhale, lifting the hips high, pressing out, thigh bones back, extend through the hands, the feet, and the crown of the head as you exhale. And with an inhale, gaze forward. Play with today, jumping the feet to the hands, maybe even lifting the hips to stack over the shoulders. So we gaze out to that triangular point between the hands. As you bend the knees, inhale, lift the abdomen and lift the hips. Lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Taking a moment to check in with your alignment, looking for that lightness that comes when the bones and joints stack. And inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, thigh bones back as the crown draws forward. Exhale, step or jump back to plank pose. Find the lift from the underside. Exhale, lower, bending the elbows just to 90 degrees. Inhale, tops of the feet down. Lift through the crown as you roll the shoulders back. Exhale, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Return to your breath. Scanning your body from the ground up and noticing if things collapse or feel compressed. That is a sign and a signal from the body that you need to play around and make adjustments. What can you do to create more lift? Starting by pressing that big toe mound down to lift the inner arch and ankle. What can you do to create more space, more lightness in your body? With an inhale, gaze forward to that triangular point between your hands, arms straight. As you inhale, the shoulders come over the wrists and the hips lift high. Get length through the spine and exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. One more time. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, gaze forward, get length. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back to plank and lower. One line of energy. Inhale, lift the heart. Roll the shoulders back, uniform curve in the spine. Exhale, lift the hips high. Press back, downward facing dog. Return to the breath. The breath is the thread that ties the whole practice together, that ties our whole lives together, that connects us to all sentient beings, past, present, and future. So we can both draw up the wisdom and the strength of our ancestors while sending out wisdom and strength to those that have yet to come. With an inhale, gaze forward. Step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Exhale, fold deeply over the legs. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Good. Inhale, arms reach up, drop the seat, chair pose. Sticking the booty out, thigh bones back, it gets you low. Draw the center of the buttocks into the midline, root the tailbone down to lift through the fingertips, the crown of the head. Soften the shoulders down the back and tuck the low ribs down and back. Still stacking the bones and joints in the back body plane. With an exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, round the palms, step or jump back to plank pose. Feel free to come to downward facing dog or to continue to move through your vinyasa. Whatever choice you make, keeping your awareness on the breath. With an inhale, lift the right leg high. Lift from the inner thigh in the center of the heel. Press the left thigh bone back. Create balance and evenness in the pelvis. As you inhale, lift the abdomen towards the spine. As you exhale, extend in all directions. With your next inhale, step that foot through between the hands and stretch your body long. One long line of energy through the whole body. So the abdomen is almost on the thigh, and then it pulls up and back. Stretch through the fingertips and the crown of the head for 3 deep, long breaths. And exhale, release, round your palms, step back. Come to downward facing dog or move through your vinyasa. Inhale the left leg high. Lift from the inner thigh in the center of the heel. Press that right thigh bone back. Cultivate the balance and evenness in the pelvis that extends to the side bodies and the sides of the neck. Inhale, pull the abdomen towards the spine. And exhale, shine. With your next exhale, step the foot through between the hands. And inhale, stretch the body long, creating one long line of energy through the body. As you inhale, the legs scissor together. The abdomen lifts. As you exhale, there's extension through the back heel, the crown of the head, and the fingertips. 3 breaths. Exhale, release, round your palms, step back. Move through a vinyasa, or come to downward dog or child's pose. Wherever you are, anchor the awareness back on the breath. The breath anchors us to the present moment. It is said that if we can exist in the space between the inhales and the exhales, fully present, we will find enlightenment. We'll meet back in downward dog if you're not already there. And with an inhale, gaze forward. Step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Exhale, fold deeply over the legs. Inhale, drop the seat, arms reach up, chair pose. Exhale, stand tall. Tadasana, arms by your sides, mountain pose. Again, inhale, arms reach up, chair. Exhale, fold forward. Prepare for a crow pose. Take a slight bend in the elbows and bring the knees onto the upper arms. Just like chaturanga, the elbows have to stay over the wrists. The head and gaze is way forward. It's a counterweight to the pelvis. Lift from the underside of the pose. Lift the abdomen and the ribs to meet the shoulder blades. Maybe you just lift one foot off the ground for today. Wherever you're working, have 3 more deep, long breaths, and then make your way back to down dog. Feeling free to move through a vinyasa, to play with kicking the feet back to chaturanga, if you would like. Remembering that practice is a practice of introducing new possibilities to the body and mind. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, step it through between the hands. Inhale, rise. Stretch the body, one long line of energy. Exhale, hands to the heart, twist to the right. You can bring your left elbow outside your right knee. If that's too deep, you can ground your left hand inside your right foot. But either way, we hug our legs together, extend through the heel, the crown of the head, press it out through the hands to roll the shoulders back. 3 breaths, feeling free to ground the left hands and stretch the right arm over the ear if you would like. And with an exhale, release, step back, move through a vinyasa or come to down dog. No judgment on the choice that you make that is best for yourself. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, stretch the body, one long line of energy. Exhale the hands to the heart, twist to the left. Taking whatever variation you took on the other side. Feeling free to ground the right hand down and lift the left arm up. Or, either way, just pressing out through the hands to roll the shoulders back. You can even ground your right hand outside your left foot and reach your left arm up and over your ear. 3 breaths. And release. Ground the palms, step back. Move through a vinyasa or come to downward dog or child's pose. Wherever you're working, be with the breath. Finding a balance and evenness in the breath that brings balance and evenness into the heart rate and the speed of the thoughts through the mind. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. And with an inhale, gaze forward. Step or jump to feet to meet the hands. Get length through the spine. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, drop the seat, arms reach up, chair pose. Exhale, stand tall, Tadasana, mountain pose. With an inhale, arms reach up, drop the seat. Exhale the hands to the heart and twist to the right. Left elbow comes outside the right knee. Left knee draws back. Left inner thigh widens to the left to stabilize the pelvis. Draw the abdomen back towards the spine and press the palms together to roll the shoulders back. Chin in line with the sternum. Slide the jawbone back. Gaze up. One more breath. And inhale to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Left elbow comes outside the right knee. Right knee draws back and right inner thigh widens to the right to stabilize the pelvis. Cinch the low ribs and the hip bones together as you press the palms together to roll the shoulders back. Chin in line with the sternum, then slide the jawbone back and gaze up. One more breath. Inhale to center. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, gaze forward, get length. Exhale, ground the palms. Step or jump back. Move through a vinyasa or come to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, step it through between your hands. Inhale, rise, stretch forward. Exhale, bend in the back knee. Inhale, fly forward, warrior three. Both thigh bones back. Rolling that left hip down. Lift from the inner thigh in the center of the heel. Extend the chest forward. One more big breath. And exhale, release your hands to the mat. Inhale, get length through the spine. And lift the right arm up for a twist. Revolved half moon. The hips are facing forward. The abdomen draws back. Press out through the palms to roll the shoulders back. Have 3 breaths. With an exhale, land that left leg behind you. Lift the left arm up. And then ground the palms. Move through a vinyasa or come to downward facing dog. Your choice. Sticking with the breath, whatever choice you make. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, stretch the body long. Exhale, bend the back knee. Inhale, fly, warrior three. Press out through both heels. Lift from the inner thigh in the center of the back heel. Belly button towards the spine as you stretch long. One more big breath here. And exhale, fold, release the hands to the mat. Keep the back leg lifted. Inhale, lift the gaze and the abdomen. Lift the left arm up for a twist. Keeping the hips facing forward. Draw the belly button towards the spine. Press out. Belly over. Through the palms to roll the shoulders back. 3 breaths. And with an exhale, land that right arm behind you. Lift the right arm up. And cartwheel the hands to the mat. Move through a vinyasa. Come to down dog or child's pose. Return your awareness to your breath. Feel the heat that is being generated in the body through the practice. Breathe it into those places that feel tight and sore and stuck. And as you exhale completely, see what you can soften, release, and let go of. So much of this practice is getting out of our own way, letting go of what we've picked up from the world around us so that we can be in alignment with our own hearts and souls. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. And with an inhale, gaze forward. Step or jump the feet to meet the hands. Get length through the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, drop the seat, arms reach up, chair pose. Exhale, stand tall. Arms by your sides. Tadasana, mountain pose. How's everybody doing? Good.
Good. Just me and you still.
There's a few more people now. You can't tell?
No.
Cool. I'm going to just restart the Instagram video.
And then we'll go on. Here we go. Okay.
So we're going to take the feet wide, outer edge of the feet parallel with outer edge of the mat, hands on the hips. Root the tailbone down towards the heels, the energy. And then inhale, lift the abdomen, the heart, and the crown. With an exhale, fold forward over the legs. Coming into this wide-legged forward fold, keep the hands on the hips for a moment. You want to get your feet spread the proper distance so that the head can touch the floor. If it's not touching, just let the crown of the head hang heavy towards the floor. And then draw the elbows towards each other on the back. Lift the shoulders up, away from the ears. Have 5 deep, long breaths. With an inhale, gaze forward. Take the big toes. Exhale, fold more deeply, crown coming towards the floor. Lifting the shoulders up away from the ears. 5 breaths. Inhale, gaze forward. This time, interlace your hands behind your back. Exhale, fold again. Crown of the head hangs towards the floor or touches the floor. Shoulders draw up the back away from the ears, and then the arms draw more actively towards the ground behind you. You can even tuck your head in more. Have 5 breaths. Inhale, gaze forward, ground the palms. And then walk the hands between the feet. Fingertips facing towards you. One more time, the head comes to the floor, or the head hangs heavy towards the floor. The elbows are over the wrists, pressing down into the hands to roll the shoulders back and hug the elbows towards each other. You're welcome to stay here or to rise into a headstand if that is part of your practice. Pressing down, stacking the bones and joints to lift the shoulders and to lift up through the heels if you're coming into headstand. Wherever you're working, have 10 deep, long breaths. If you're in headstand, with an exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the gaze, hands onto the hips. With your next inhale, root down to rise up. Step or jump the feet together. Come back to the top of your mat. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, ground the palms, step or jump back. Move through a vinyasa or come to downward facing dog. Return to your breath. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, step it through. Lower the back knee down. Inhale, rise. And so opening up through the hip flexors, but also wanting to stretch the quads in preparation for some back bends. I encourage you to try to bend the knee and grab the ankle. If this is much too intense, you can do it with the left hand grounded, right hand grabbing the foot or ankle. But to get the deepest stretch, we're gonna grab the foot with both hands, stick your booty out slightly towards your heel, root the tailbone down to lift the abdomen, the heart, the crown. Roll the shoulders back and lean back gently. 5 breaths. Good. Exhale, release. Shift the weight over the back knee. Flex the front foot back towards the calf. Notice any sickling and weird shit happening in your foot. Make adjustments to come to center. And you can stay right here, folding forward if you feel a deep stretch, sticking the thigh bones back to deepen the stretch. Or you can begin to slide the foot forward, coming into a Hanumanasana, full split stretch. Instead of just flopping down, think about your alignment. Hugging your legs towards each other energetically, inner rotating the back thigh, the hips face forward. We want to root the tailbone down, lift the frontal hip bones, move towards stacking the bones and joints even here. 5 breaths. And then with an exhale, leaning over onto the right side, draw that left knee in, ground the left foot on the inside of the right thigh. Inhale, lift the left arm up. And exhale, fold forward on the inside edge of that front knee. And maybe this is where you stay today, hugging that left knee in towards the side body. Maybe you reach that left arm around behind to grab the right wrist for a bind. If you have a scarf or something nearby, you can also use that. Whatever version you take though, both sits bones round down energetically. That left leg hugs into the side body. Inhale, lift the abdomen. Exhale, fold forward more deeply. Have 5 breaths. Breathing into the places that feel tight and sore and stuck. As you exhale, softening, seeing what you can release and let go of. With an inhale, rise. And with the knee closed like that, play with taking the left foot into the right hip crease for a lotus, half lotus pose. If that is not accessible for today, you can place the ankle like crossed above the knee or place the foot on the inside of the thigh. Wherever you're working, ground both fingertips by the hips. If the leg is in half lotus, maybe you want to reach that left hand around for the left big toe. From the grounding down of the pelvis, lift and lengthen through the spine. And exhale, fold more deeply. 5 breaths. Inhale, rise. And release the foot. We're gonna ground the palms by the hips, and this is something that I can't do yet, so I like to work it in and practice. It's from the Ashtanga practice, the coming through and kicking back. If you have blocks, you can start up on blocks, and that makes it a little bit more accessible. I'm not gonna do it today, but we're gonna try and then make our way back to downward facing dog. So pressing down into the palms, draw the abdomen in and up, pull the front body to the back body, and kick the feet back. Move through a vinyasa or come to downward facing dog. Have a few breaths here. Observe the different sensations and the different sides of your body in this moment. And then inhale, lift the left leg high. And exhale, step it through. Lower that right knee down. Inhale, rise. Take whatever variation you took on the other side. Maybe bending the knee, the right knee, and grabbing it with both hands. Maybe right hand is grounded to make it a little more accessible. Maybe it's all really tight and you wish you had a strap and you're just gonna be right here for the moment. Wherever you're working, 5 breaths. Sticking your booty out towards your heel, rooting your tailbone down to lift the whole front body, roll the shoulders back and gaze up, lean back. And exhale, release. Shift the weight over that back knee. Flex the left foot. Sticking your booty out, thigh bones back, bringing the hips into alignment. Maybe you want to stay right here. Inhale, lift the abdomen, and exhale, fold. Maybe you want to slide that left heel forward, coming closer to a full split. But we are maintaining the integrity of alignment in the body as opposed to just going as deeply as we can. So hugging the legs towards each other energetically, inner rotating that back thigh. We want to get the tailbone to ground so we can lift the whole front body towards the back body. Have 5 breaths. Right, and then leaning over to the left side, bring that right foot to ground on the inside of the left thigh. Foot as wide as the hips. Ground the left fingertip by your hip and inhale, lift the right arm up. Exhale, come forward on the inside edge of that right knee. And maybe you just want to fold here, reaching towards the foot, hugging that knee into the side of your body. Maybe you can reach that right arm around the right knee and grab the left fingertips or wrist behind you. The alignment is the same no matter what variation. Energetically, both sits bones ground so that we can lift the abdomen, the heart, and the crown. As you exhale, fold more deeply, rolling the shoulders together and down and into the back body. Feel what's happening in your neck. Create a uniform curve and have 5 breaths. With an inhale, rise. Keeping that knee closed, because that's going to protect the hinge joint. Take the leg out to the side. Maybe you want to take your right foot into your left hip crease. Maybe it's not there yet and you want to rest the foot on the inside of the thigh or just cross the ankle over the knee. Maybe it's somewhere in between. But we don't want to like yank on our foot and feel pinching in the knee. We want to honor the knee and work slowly towards these poses. If the foot is in the hip crease, right hand reaches around behind for that right big toe. Either way, sits bones ground down. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the heart and crown. Exhale, fold forward. 5 breaths. If the foot is in the hip crease, you might notice it's softening the hip flexor of the opposite leg, which is a bonus that I really love. With an inhale, rise. Release your leg. One more time. So we're in like a cross-legged position or moving through a cross-legged position as you ground the palms by your hips. Inhale, lift the abdomen, lift the legs, lift everything towards the back body as you press back. And move through a vinyasa. Or meet us in child's pose. Taking a moment to check back in with the quality of the breath, the tension in the body, and the speed of the thoughts through the mind at this point in your practice. And then we're gonna rise onto our knees for a camel pose or camel prep practice. So the opening of the hip flexors is important here because the hips have to stay over the knees as we lean back. Tailbone roots down, center of the buttocks draws into the midline. You can bring your hands onto your low back or interlace the hands behind your back. As you inhale, lift the sternum like you're being pulled up by a string. Lift the gaze, and as you exhale, draw the arms away from the back body. Roll the shoulders together on the back. Each inhale, lifting the sternum up, and exhale, leaning back more deeply. Maybe your hands can come onto your heels. You want to keep a uniform curve in the neck and spine so the neck doesn't completely collapse. Have 5 more breaths wherever you're working. If you're wanting to take a challenge, you can walk your hands down to your calves, keeping the center of the buttocks forward, keeping the sternum lifted. As you exhale, begin to lower the crown of the head to the floor. Inhale, rise. Do that a few times. I cannot hit my head all the way down without feeling like I'm gonna fall. So that's okay. We just practice. If there's discomfort in your lower back, back off. With an inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, sit back on or between the heels. If you're going between the heels, you can roll the calves out. Press all the toes down. Lift and lengthen through the heart and crown. Have a few breaths. Maybe you want to stay right here. Maybe you want to play with leaning back. If you're leaning back, you have to lift your hips and root your tailbone down. And maybe you come onto the forearms, lift the hips, root the tailbone down. Maybe you can come all the way to lay on your back. Wherever you're working, 5 deep, long breaths. Looking for that stacking of the bones and joints in the back body plane in all variations. If there's sharp pain in the knee or hip, that means back off, or the lower back. If you are laying flat back, you're gonna ground your forearms and inhale, lift with the heart to rise up. Good. We'll spin the legs around in front of us, bend the knees and ground the feet. Come to lay down on your back. We're gonna do one more back bend here. And I'm gonna give you lots of options. First option is bridge pose, which we do almost every class, y'all know that. Second option is full wheel, and I'll give you an option for variation in full wheel. If you wanna try full wheel, you're gonna ground your palms by your ears, fingertips facing towards you. And then we're all gonna begin with bridge pose, pressing down into the heels and the back of the head and shoulders to lift the pelvis, the low back, the middle back. You're welcome to stay in your bridge pose here or to press down into the palms to lift up into full wheel. Keep rooting the tailbone towards the knees, lifting the outer hips up. Stay here for 5 breaths, or you can play with bending the right knee and bringing the top of the foot, maybe the knee all the way to the mat. Have a few breaths and switch sides. You want to make sure you do the same amount of breaths on each side. When you are ready to come down, with an exhale, lower onto the crown or the back of the head. Take the arms wide, take the feet wide, drop the legs to the right side. So the left knee is moving towards the right foot and you're in a kind of open twist. Allow the low body to be heavy and breathe length and space into the spine. With an exhale or inhale to center, exhale, take the legs up and over to the other side. Have a few deep, long breaths here. And return to center. I'm going to let you choose your own adventure to close out the practice. Maybe there's a plow pose or a shoulder stand. In the Iyengar tradition, which is where I learned all of this alignment stuff, shoulder stand is the counter pose to headstand. So if you do a headstand, which explodes the energy out through the crown of the head, you want to do a shoulder stand to close that back off. But then I started practicing Ashtanga, and they do shoulder stand before they do headstand. So it's really a matter of you playing with what feels good in your body. There's also an option for a fish pose to close out. Another pose that stimulates the crown of the head. The pose that is the counter pose to shoulder stand in the Ashtanga practice. You could also just give yourself a gentle twist, a happy baby. What I'm really feeling right now is Hasta Panagustasana. So yogi toe lock, peace fingers around the right big toe, and stretching the legs in all directions. When you are ready for Shavasana, you will rest with the legs extended, feet as wide as the hips, falling open. If there's any discomfort in the lower back when you do that, prop your legs up on a chair or just bend the knees with the feet wide and let the knees fall together. Palms are resting, facing up at the sides of your body, like a 30-degree angle away from the body. Return your awareness to your breath. Remembering that if the chin juts up above the forehead, you want to place the head up on a blanket. With the forehead slightly above the chin, the body can ease into rest and digest mode. Wherever you are, return your awareness to your breath. Allow the breath to be so deep and so long that it touches down into the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. And as you exhale completely, any residual tension, criticalness, self-doubt leaves the body with the breath through the fingertips. So through this practice, we clear out on all layers and levels of our being, making space to channel that energy of the universe through the prism of our best self and into the change we want to see in the world. Hmm. Hmm. take this moment to savor any quiet peace or calm that came into the body or mind through the practice today. And then begin to intentionally deepen your inhales. We're gonna end with a little breathwork visualization on the floor here. So as you inhale, allow the breath to expand and fill your whole body. Exhale completely, spreading wide to occupy that space. With your next inhale, allow the awareness to expand out and fill the whole room. Exhale deeply, occupying to fill that space. With your next inhale, allow your breath to expand your awareness out to fill your whole block. And exhale here. Next inhale, expand the awareness out to fill your whole city or town, to fill the whole ecosystem that surrounds it. Feel how that ecosystem is whole and complete, just as it is, and that you are an important part of it. The next inhale expands your awareness out to fill the whole earth. Again, feeling how the earth is whole, complete, just as it is, and that you have an important part to play. Next inhale, expand your awareness out to fill the whole solar system, galaxy, universe. Exhale and settle in here. Occupy that space, that spaciousness of infinite being. And then as you inhale, begin to pull energetically on all the people, energy, beings, entities that have ever wanted to support you, have wanted to receive what you have to offer, past, present, and future. As you inhale, draw that energy in, allowing it to fill and bubble over the surface of the body. And with an exhale, out along those same energetic lines, send your gratitude and appreciation for all of those people, past, present, and future, that have ever supported you, that have received what you have to offer. Let them know how grateful you are. Allow your gratitude to extend out, to fill up and spill out over the edges of their being. Have a few more deep, long breaths here, basking in that reciprocity, our connection to one another and all things. And when you're ready, you can inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale here. Inhale, draw the knees into the chest. And exhale, roll to the right side body. Move slowly, gather your bearings. When you're ready, press down with the palms to lift up. Come to a comfortable seated position. Bring the hands to the heart. and bow the head in gratitude for the tools of this practice that give us those little glimmers and moments of being in the flow and the oneness that carry us through these strange times. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bunny.
Here's a Pookie. Everybody good?
Hi, Pookers. Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you. It's Zippy. Hey, Mo.
Hi.
How are you?
Mom, look it.
Oh, beautiful. Pookers has been doing her makeup every day. Mwah. Bye.